Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap and also welcome to the government scheme session. The scheme that we are covering today, it is Pradhan Mantri Shramyogi Mandhan Yojana. So it was recently in news, it is also part of your syllabus and that is why we are going to cover it. But before starting the session, here's an announcement for all the aspirants who are preparing for central regulatory bodies. We have come up with one-stop solution guide to all the queries that you might be having regarding the organization that you would want to join. Along with that, once you have understood what the organization do for the economy, what are its different department, what will be your role once you join the organization, of course you would want to know about the recruitment process. So that has also been mentioned, starting with are you eligible or not, what are the different phases of the examination, what is the pattern of different phases, what are the previous year trends in terms of cutoffs, what is the syllabus, and all the details have been mentioned in this in a very comprehensive manner. So be it you're preparing for RBI, NABARD and SEBI, you should not miss this opportunity and you should download these e-guidebooks free of cost from the link that has been provided in the description box below. Okay, so now let's start. Okay, so see, this is part of your, of course this is a social issue that we have to address. Government, it talks about having positive discrimination in favor of underprivileged. That's basically to focus more on the underprivileged, and it is also talks about the social security. Social security is an important factor when when it comes to the social issues, right? So this particular point, it touch the scheme, it touches that particular point. And if you look at the particular scheme, see, it has been quite frequently in news. However, I have just taken the snippet of the this year only, this month only, last month. So in on 16th of March it was in news. So basically e-Shram portal has been now integrated with Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana. What is e-Shram portal? We'll just understand, but let me just complete the news first. Then on 23rd March again there was an update on this particular portal and the scheme. And then on 23rd March there was another news where this particular scheme has been in a comprehensive manner was covered in the news. And see, any scheme, if it has been in detail covered in news, it becomes important from the examination point of view. Okay, so I've added the two links of the snippet of the first one and the last one because these are more important in accordance with the scheme. You can have a read of it. And what is, first of all, for whom this particular scheme is, right? So this is for the unorganized sector. So if we look at the definition, so unorganized sector is basically such sectors, such areas which are not registered under government. So these are the areas where people, they work for getting money for wages for the livelihood, but they are not registered with the government. Okay, so it can be, for example, the labor work. Okay, if you are a vegetable seller or any street vendor, if you are the rickshaw wala, if you are a household worker, right? These all are the some examples which come under the organized sector. Okay, and there is a e-Shram portal which was launched to have the proper data of how many unorganized people are there. So to, for that particular data, this e-Shram portal was made so that all the information of them can be added in that. And of course this will give clarity to government also how to then move forward, taking the unorganized sector along with the other sector of the society, right? So for this, there was an unorganized worker social security act was launched in 2008, and this made mandatory for the government to focus on the social security, to work for the social security of the unorganized sector. Now security, it includes various factors. It includes your life insurance. Okay, it includes your medical insurance. Okay, and means in cases where if somebody have to face medical problems, in that case, because unorganized sector, they don't earn much money, so how are they going to tackle such situation, right? So it talks about medical insurance. It talks about your retirement programs also, right? So there are different aspects that comes under social security, but all it includes that person should have money, or on the in the times of the needs, they have some backup with them so that they can face the situation. And this particular scheme, which is Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana, this is basically for the retirement purpose, taking in consideration that after retirement how these people are going to survive, because the money that they get, the earning they have, it is not that much that they can live their normal day-to-day life, and they can save for the retirement plans also, right? So for that purpose the scheme was launched. And I hope now you will understand why this e-Shram portal has now been integrated with the this particular scheme. Why? Because we already have the data, so it would be easier for the government to have in touch and include more and more unorganized people, unorganized sector people in the this particular program, in this particular scheme. Okay, So we'll start with the basics. So the launch year of the scheme is 2019 and it falls under the Ministry of Labor and Employment. So see, the ministry, it will take care of the overall supervision or the administration, but the implementation will be done by LIC and your CSC. Okay, CSC, basically LIC, it will be a fund manager, and whatever pension distribution will be collected and done, that will be done by LIC. Okay, and CSC, what it will be done, it is kind of a cyber cafe, you can say, where the unorganized sector people, they can go and they can make an ID through this. You can understand this to be, for example, during when this Aadhaar cards were made, right? During that time period, there were certain centers where you would have to go, and then the center people, they made your Aadhaar card, right? And afterwards, now it's even online. But similarly for PAN card also, there are various service centers, right? So this works in the similar way only. So these two will be implementing the scheme, but yes, the fund manager will be your LIC, and the main ministry will be your Ministry of Labor and Employment. Okay, the aim of this particular scheme is the old age protection. Okay, so that they have something in their hand when they are old age, they are not able to work, and they have to live, they can have a decent livelihood, and social security of unorganized workers. So this focus on the old age protection and the social security. Eligibility criteria, there are many. First of there are three important: unorganized worker, so the person who wants to be the beneficiary under the scheme should be an unorganized worker. Entry age, it should be between 80 to 40 years. Okay, so 18 to 40 years can be the entry age whenever you want to join. Monthly income should be your 15,000 or below. If you have monthly income 15,000 above, then you are not eligible. It should be either 15,000 or below it. And excluding criteria is also are there. So these are the one that you have to fulfill, but there are some excluding criteria also. For example, if you have already enrolled under some other sector scheme, where the pension scheme, for example NPS or any related to, you have membership of EPF or ESIC, because there also the people, they get some financial security. Okay, so that is why if you are already engaged in one of these organized sector membership, then you are not eligible for this particular scheme. Okay, but yes, one thing is there, that if you are under this scheme, you can still apply for Atal Pension Yojana. So this is an exclusion, that for Atal Pension Yojana you can apply, so simultaneously you can go for both, but if you are under this three kind of membership, you are not eligible. And if you are an income taxpayer, of course you would not be eligible to be part of this particular scheme. Okay, now let's look at some of the important key features. So it is a voluntary and contributory pension scheme. Voluntary means it's not compulsory, mandatory for people to have to add money, because see how the people will get retirement money. So they would have to submit money, they will have to contribute, they would have to save some money from now only, and now means from 80 to 40 age, and they would have to submit some money, small amount, and once the retirement age is reached, which is 60 years, then they will get the return of it. Okay, so that is why first of all it is voluntary. What if nobody somebody, they are having minimal wages, and they don't or they want to be part of it. Okay, so it's a voluntary, it's not mandatory. And contributory, what does contributory mean? It means that whatever the beneficiary amount will submit, the same amount, the equal amount will be will be added by the central government. Okay, so this is a contributory and voluntary scheme, and it is a sector scheme. So of course, what does it mean? It means, I just told you, right, that the whatever the amount the beneficiary will add, the equal amount the government will add. So this equal amount will not be added by the central government, it will be solely done by the not done by the state government, it will be solely done by the central government. Okay, so it's a sector scheme. Subscriber would receive a minimum assured pension of rupees 3,000 per month after attaining the age of 60 years. Okay, so minimum 3,000, I'm sorry, minimum 3,000 they will get the beneficiaries after the attaining the age of 60 years. Okay, apart from that, there are some other important key features. For example, how the money, so do the people, will the people have to go every month to the bank and submit it? So it is not going to be like that, it is going to be a auto debit facility. Okay, but this auto debit facility will be from the second installment, because in first installment they will go to CSC centers, right? So there they will offline mode, in a cash mode, they will apply with the they will provide with the money. But once that is done, from the next installment, it will be auto debit facility. Okay, from his either saving account or Jandhan account. Okay, whatever they have opened, from the date of joining till the age of 60 years as per the chart. Now what does this chart means? Because see, the government says that minimum of 3,000 the beneficiary is going to get, right? But to have that particular accumulation, that will result into per month 3,000, what the government has done, they have made a chart. Okay, in their chart they have mentioned that if you fall under this age criteria, you would have to submit this amount. For example, I'll just tell you of the maximum and the minimum, because it's not necessary, or I'll just tell you the 29 will have. So if you are 18 years old, the amount that needs to be submitted from this month is 110, but of course it is contributory based, right? So you will contribute 55 and the government will contribute 55. So this is actual amount, I'm not just making it up. Okay, so for 18, the minimum the person would have to submit every month 55, and the similar government will do, and this will make accumulate 110 per month. Okay, in the age of 40, then you would have to contribute 200 and the government will also contribute 200. Okay, so equal will be contribution. And in the age of 29, why am I saying so? Because here 100 is a contribution, right? So 100, if you join this particular program from 29 years of age, then you would have to add 100, you have to contribute 100 and the government will contribute 100. In age of 40, 200, 200. In age of 18, 55 and 55, that will sum up to 110 in case of 18 years. Okay, enrollment through common service center. So this is the CSC we are talking about. So enrollment will be done through common service center, and for that you should have it is mandatory to have an Aadhaar card and saving and Jan Dhan account. Okay, then if a subscriber has not paid the contribution, there will be some penalty that will be charged, and this will be decided by the government. But of course, I don't think that will be that much which the person cannot give. Now these were the important key features. Now let's understand the exit and withdrawal criteria. We look at them one by one. First of all, because see, why, if you look at in the other social security schemes, there are certain rules, right, that you would have to follow. But rules means there are some strict rules, I would say. But in case of this particular scheme, it has not been made strict rules. They are very flexible, because in unorganized sector, the income is also very uncertain, right? That is why here the rules are very flexible, so that the person would not have to suffer if they are contributing for their future, right? So first criteria is within a period of less than 10 years. So if their contribution they have started and they want to withdraw the money or exit from the scheme within 10 years, so the beneficiary share of contribution will be given return to the person with saving bank interest rate. So whatever be the saving bank interest rate, in that rate the money will be given. Second is regular contribution and died due to any cause. So in that second case is that the person was doing the regular contribution, but he died before reaching the retirement age. So in that case, what can be done? So in that case, the government, they give the option to his or her spouse. It can, because in organized sector it can be male or female, right? So the spouse have given this option that either they can continue with the scheme if they want to, or if they want to exit. Okay, so either two cases are given, either they can continue the scheme, or if they want to exit, in such cases the money, of course, that will be given back, but the interest should also be given, right? So the interest will be given either the one which has been accumulated on the earned by fund. What does it mean? Because we know half the government will give, half the beneficiary will give. So in the first case where we looked at that, if the beneficiary is withdrawing before 10 years, only the share contribution of the beneficiary will be given back, not of that of the government. Okay, but in second case where the person died due to any cause, in such cases, if the spouse want to exit from the scheme, in that case there are two options: either the contribution what the beneficiary has made, so either the interest that he had earned on the saving bank, if you look at what is the saving bank interest at that time, if that is higher, or if the accumulated interest actually earned by the fund. What does it mean? That contribution is made equally by the government as well as the beneficiary. So if the interest that is earned on that, if that is higher, or if we exclude that, if we just take the money and what the money of the beneficiary and what was the saving interest rate that he has gotten, if that is higher, whichever is higher, the beneficiary spouse will get that. Okay, so either can continue with the payment with the scheme, or can exit. And in the case of exit, it is obvious that they will get some interest on it, right? The spouse will get some interest on it because they were saving the money. So whichever is higher, now whichever, what does it mean? It means either what on the accumulation, whatever the interest rate has been given, or what is the saving rate bank interest. What does it mean? It actually means, I know where you can get confused. See, in this fund, if the interest will be generated, that will be something different from what you get in the saving bank. It would not be as same as in the saving bank, it would be different. Okay, and that will be decided by the government only. So whichever is higher, or whichever interest rate is higher, on that basis the money will be returned return back. Okay, and there is also, sorry, there is also one exit after a period of 10 years. Okay, this is second point is completely different from the third one. So first one is different, second, third and fourth are same, and second is different. So one case was before 10 years, one is after 10 years but before 60 years. So here the contributor has given, the beneficiary has given, submitted money after more than 10 years but before 60 years of age. In that case, the beneficiary share of contribution along with the accumulated interest as actually earned by the fund or at the saving rate interest, whichever is higher. This is the, now the exit condition is same as that of the in case of death. If the there is regular contribution but the beneficiary died of any cause. Okay, so they will get back the money, but it will depend that whichever interest rate is higher, on that basis they will get either on the accumulated fund or the saving interest rate, whatever whichever is higher at that point of time. Okay, another case that we have, okay, so I'll just show you here because the animations are wrong. Regular contribution and become permanently disabled. So the person was regulatory contributing to the scheme, but they become permanently disabled due to any cause, okay, before 60 years and unable to continue to the scheme. So first case we looked at before 10 years, second we looked at after 10 years but before 60 years of age, third we looked at the person died, the beneficiary was regular but he died. Now fourth case is the person is doing regular contribution but now has become permanently disabled. So in that also it's the same condition, either his or spouse will be entitled to continue the scheme or exit the scheme, okay, by receiving the beneficiary contribution with interest, same condition, okay, actually earned by the fund or at the saving rate whichever is higher. Okay, next is if the subscriber dies, the spouse of the beneficiary shall be entitled to receive 50% of the pension. This we are talking about that the subscriber has reached to the retirement age, was taking the benefit of the pension, but after that he died. So for in that case the spouse will get 50% of the pension. And do remember that it is the family pension means this transfer is just for the spouse, it is not for anybody else. Usually in other case we look at right that there is the nominee that has been present, but here only the spouse can take the benefit. Okay, and how much? 50%. And in which condition? Where the farmer not farmer but yes, where the subscriber has reached to the retirement age, was taking benefit out of it, and then he or her has died. Okay, he or she has died after the death of the subscriber as well as the spouse. Now in the condition where the subscriber has also died and the spouse has also died, the entire corpus will be credited back to the fund. So it will not be transferred to the children or whatsoever. The fund will be credited back to the the LIC, you can say. Okay, so that was all about the scheme. So again, this was the news. I hope now you will understand in a better way of this. And there's a question for everyone. Please attempt this and see these are the answers of last year, last question, and only Rachit, Jayesh, Rishabh and Sairam has given the right answer. See, in the question it was mentioned that this total outlay 15,000 crore is for the year 2022-23. So this was mentioned in question, and that is why that became wrong. Why does it became wrong? Because this is for the 3 year we have told na. So Krishna, both the Krishnas and Naveen, please whenever you read the question, pay more attention to it. It's okay if you have given wrong answer here, but you should not this is a practice and you should not do in the main examination, right? And as Rahul has also said that this particular scheme was asked in IFSCA exam also, and of course we can see how frequently it is being asked in news. So there are very high chances that this will be asked in RBI examination also. Okay, so that is all in this video. If you have any doubt, any query, do you can comment it down. I'll reply either in the comment section only or in the next session. And you can also join a Telegram group to get the PDF of this and every lecture we provide on YouTube. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you like the video. And if you want me to cover any scheme, you can give our suggestion. I'll make a video on that. So that is all. We'll meet again in another session. Until then, all the very best for your examination, and thank you.